Hello, everybody. My name is Matthew Dobler. I have this channel called the Online Litigator, where I try to put together resources and tips for those of us who are finding ourselves trying to practice law online. I'll save you the normal yada, yada, yada about liking and subscribing, but I will point out that I put out material at a sporadic and non-regular pace. So the only way you're going to know when I put out new content is if you like and subscribe. Okay, with all that being said, I attended a training program today that I wanted to speak briefly about. It was put together by NITA, who, of course, was the same organization that put together the Corrine Wilson program that I went to back last summer, and then the summit, the online jury trial summit that came out back in November. I've been very impressed with the NITA programming, and the one that I went to today did not disappoint. This was called here Virtual Trials, Tips, Tricks, and Things to Think About Going Forward. And it was put together by this attorney named Carl Guthrie. And if you go onto the page for it here, here's a brief bio about Mr. Guthrie. As you can see here, he's from the Texas Poverty Law Project. And that really sets up one of the things that I thought was fascinating about this particular online training was that Mr. Guthrie is a criminal attorney rather than a civil attorney, which is most of what I've seen discussed when we talk about online litigation in the past. We talk about online civil jury trials. This particular program focused mostly on an online criminal jury trial. And I thought that distinction was interesting. I thought Mr. Guthrie, he made some really fascinating points. And I thought that, it's interesting to watch the evolution of this conversation. And we've moved from some real basic things like where should your camera be, and Mr. Guthrie definitely talked about that, but he really started to dive in a little deeper. I'm just looking down here to look at my notes. He talked about the changing nature of the record, and what is the record? Is it the Zoom recording? Is it the trial transcript? Does it remain the trial transcript? How do you manage that? Those are questions that I'm finding interesting at this phase in online litigation as well, and I thought that his comments on that was fascinating. He talked about modulating performances, which is something that the original people that taught me trial advocacy talked about 15 years ago. I think it's fascinating to see that stuff come back full circle and us to be talking about it in the context of online litigation as well. And then finally, he had a conversation about the digital divide that I thought was really, really fascinating. And he had some suggestions about how we solve that as we go forward. So again, I recommend it. It's a NITA program. It's available on demand on their website. And hopefully I'm going to do my best to see if I can get Charles to sit for an interview here on the Online Litigator. So again, I recommend it. I hope everybody has a chance to check it out, and I look forward to talking to you again. Thanks.